Rumors are swirling. People are talking about extra cash. Word on the street is that Trump has signed checks, 2 each actually. One is for a new round of stimulus payments, the other, a cool extra $200 a month for Social Security recipients. Sounds great, right? Here's the catch. There's absolutely no proof, no credible news source, no government agency, no official statement confirms any of this, so why is everyone talking about it? Welcome to the age of misinformation. In a world flooded with social media and online forums, it's easy for rumors to spread like wildfire. People are eager for good news, especially when it comes to their wallets. This makes them more likely to believe and share information that confirms their hopes, even without checking the facts. And let's be honest, a story about Trump signing checks for extra cash is bound to grab attention, whether it's true or not. This is why we need to be cautious, we need to be critical. Don't just hit that share button, check your sources, folks. Now let's talk about executive orders. You've probably heard this term thrown around a lot, especially lately. But what are they exactly? In simple terms, an executive order is like a memo from the president to the federal government. It tells them how to interpret and enforce existing laws. It's a powerful tool because it allows the president to bypass Congress and make things happen quickly. But there are limits. An executive order can't create new laws out of thin air, and they can be challenged in court. Congress can also pass laws to overturn them, and of course, the next president can simply reverse them with a stroke of a pen. So while they might seem all-powerful, executive orders are part of a system of checks and balances. They're not a magic wand for the president to do whatever he wants. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this is where things get really weird. Remember Elon Musk, the tech billionaire behind Tesla and SpaceX? Well, he's now a major player in the Trump administration. Trump signed an executive order creating something called DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency Service. Its mission? To make the government leaner and meaner by cutting jobs and limiting hiring. And guess who's in charge? You guessed it, Elon Musk. On top of that, Trump declared 2 national emergencies. One for energy to speed up oil and gas projects, the other for the southern border, to build his wall. Now these might sound like big important issues, and they are. But using emergency powers to bypass Congress and push through your agenda, that's raising eyebrows, folks. It's like using a fire extinguisher to put out a birthday candle. Sure, it works, but it's a little extreme, don't you think? Gap 3S. Let's dive deeper into the implications of misinformation in today's digital age. How does it affect our daily lives? And what can we do to combat it? We'll explore real-life examples and expert opinions on the matter. First, let's consider how misinformation spreads like wildfire on social media platforms. Algorithms designed to keep us engaged often prioritize sensational or controversial content, regardless of its accuracy. This means false information can gain traction quickly, influencing public opinion and even policy decisions. Take, for example, the viral spread of a fake news article claiming that a major political figure was involved in a scandal. Despite being debunked, the story had already reached millions and shaped perceptions. This kind of misinformation can erode trust in institutions and divide communities. But it's not all doom and gloom. Experts suggest several ways to combat misinformation. Fact-checking organizations are working tirelessly to verify information and provide context. Initiatives to improve digital literacy are also crucial, teaching people how to critically evaluate the information they encounter online. Moreover, some social media platforms are beginning to take responsibility, implementing measures to flag or remove false content. However, the battle is far from over. It requires a collective effort from individuals, tech companies, and governments alike. In the end, staying informed and skeptical is our best defense. By questioning sources and seeking out verified information, we can navigate the digital landscape more wisely. Remember, the power to combat misinformation starts with each of us. Gap 3S. Next, we'll take a closer look at the history of executive orders. How have past presidents used this powerful tool, and what lessons can we learn from their actions? Executive orders have been a critical part of the American presidency since George Washington's time. These orders allow presidents to manage operations within the federal government, but their scope and impact have varied widely. Some orders have led to significant and lasting changes, while others have sparked controversy and legal battles. Take, for example, Franklin D. Roosevelt's Executive Order 9066, which authorized the internment of Japanese Americans during World War II. This decision, driven by wartime hysteria, is now widely regarded as a dark chapter in American history. It serves as a cautionary tale about the potential for abuse of executive power. On the other hand, Harry S. Truman's Executive Order 9981, which desegregated the armed forces, is seen as a landmark moment in the fight for civil rights. This order demonstrated the positive impact that executive action can have when used to promote justice and equality. More recently, executive orders have been used to address urgent national issues such as immigration, climate change, and public health. Presidents from both parties have utilized this tool to bypass legislative gridlock and implement their policy agendas. However, the use of executive orders is not without controversy. Critics argue that they can undermine the democratic process by allowing presidents to circumvent Congress. This tension between executive authority and legislative oversight is a recurring theme in American politics. As we reflect on the history of executive orders, it's clear that their power must be wielded with care and responsibility. The actions of past presidents offer valuable lessons about the potential benefits and pitfalls of this executive tool. By understanding this history, we can better navigate the complexities of presidential power in the present and future. Gap 3S. Now let's move on to the legal challenges and the future of presidential power. Gap 3S. In this chapter, we'll examine the role of tech giants like Elon Musk in government. Is it a good idea to have business leaders in positions of political power? We'll weigh the pros and cons. Gap 2S. On one hand, business leaders like Musk bring a wealth of experience and a track record of innovation. They are often seen as visionaries who can drive progress and tackle complex challenges with fresh perspectives. For instance, Musk's involvement in space exploration through SpaceX has reinvigorated interest in space travel and has even led to public-private partnerships with NASA. His leadership in electric vehicles with Tesla has pushed the boundaries of sustainable transportation and has had a significant impact on the auto industry. Gap 2S. However, there are also significant concerns about the influence of tech titans in government. Critics argue that business leaders may prioritize profit over the public good, leading to policies that benefit corporations at the expense of ordinary citizens. There's also the issue of accountability. Unlike elected officials, business leaders are not subject to the same level of scrutiny or democratic oversight. This can lead to conflicts of interest and decisions that lack transparency. Gap 2S. Additionally, the concentration of power in the hands of a few wealthy individuals raises questions about the health of democracy. When tech giants wield significant influence over government policy, it can undermine the principle of equal representation. The potential for monopolistic behavior and the erosion of competition are also concerns that cannot be ignored. Gap 2S. So, is it a good idea to have business leaders in positions of political power? The answer isn't straightforward. While their expertise and innovative thinking can bring about positive change, the risks of unchecked power and conflicts of interest are real and must be carefully managed. As we navigate this complex landscape, it's crucial to strike a balance that ensures both progress and accountability. Gap 3S. Now let's move on to the legal challenges and the future of presidential power. Gap 3S. Finally, we'll discuss the future of presidential power. What changes might we see in the coming years, and how can we ensure that our leaders remain accountable to the people? Gap 2S. As technology continues to evolve and the lines between public and private sectors blur, the role of the president and the extent of their power may undergo significant transformations. The influence of social media, the rise of digital currencies, and the growing importance of cybersecurity are all factors that could shape the future landscape of presidential authority. Gap 2S. One potential change is the increased use of executive orders to address emerging issues quickly. While this can be an efficient way to respond to crises, it also raises concerns about bypassing the legislative process and concentrating too much power in the executive branch. Gap 2S. Another consideration is the role of tech giants and their potential involvement in shaping policy. As we've discussed, this can bring both opportunities for innovation and risks of conflicts of interest. It's crucial to establish clear guidelines and transparency measures to ensure that decisions are made in the public interest. Gap 2S. Additionally, the legal framework surrounding presidential power may need to be updated to reflect the realities of the digital age. This could include new regulations on the use of social media by public officials, enhanced cybersecurity measures, and updated protocols for declaring national emergencies. Gap 2S. Ultimately, The future of presidential power will depend on our collective ability to adapt to new challenges while upholding the principles of democracy and accountability. By staying informed, participating in the democratic process, and holding our leaders accountable, we can help shape a future that balances progress with the rule of law. GAP 3S. With these thoughts in mind, let's explore the legal challenges and the future of presidential power in more detail. You didn't really think everyone would just sit back and let this happen, did you? Lawyers are having a field day. Lawsuits are piling up faster than tweets on a Trump tirade. Judges are issuing rulings left and right. Over 52 lawsuits in 3 weeks to be exact. That's not a typo. People are concerned. They're worried about the rule of law, the balance of power, and the future of democracy itself. This isn't just about Trump or Musk or any particular policy. It's about something bigger. It's about what happens when a president pushes the limits of their power. It's about the importance of accountability and the rule of law. And it's about our responsibility as citizens to stay informed, to ask questions, and to hold our leaders accountable. Because when it comes to the future of our country, silence is not an option.